Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from Korman Productions, here to strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy to Cobra Kai, Season 3, Episode 8, The Good, the Bad, and the Badass. The description reads as follows. Informed that this year's All-Valley Karate Tournament is being canceled, the three competing senseis attend a city council meeting to save it. The episode was directed by Jennifer Salata. It's the last of her work in Season 3. She won't direct another until the 5th season episode of Season 5. The teleplay is credited to Matea Green. Before going any further, I will tell you a couple of things. This is not a spoiler-free video, so if you hadn't watched the episode, I highly recommend you go and check it out, and then come watch my video. Secondly, this video is now available on multiple different platforms. If you're listening from one of the podcast platforms, feel free to subscribe and follow. You can also head over to my YouTube channel, Korman Productions, to find additional content that is not available here. If you are already on my YouTube channel and want to support the channel, please like, share, and comment, as well as subscribing to my channel. Much better episode this week with some interesting things to talk about. We begin with a montage which showcased the differing philosophies of the three different senseis. We of course have Kreese's strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy, win at all cost philosophy of Cobra Kai, set against Daniel's defense only philosophy of Miyagi-Do, to Johnny's evolving ego bang philosophy of being a badass without being an a-hole. Don't start the fight, but if you're in one, you better win it. Sort of a middle ground between Daniel and Kreese that Johnny is trying to chart here. Well done opening. Johnny is at the juvenile detention center to pick up Robbie, when who should he run into but Daniel, who was there to make sure someone was there for Robbie. Johnny is not appreciative of Daniel being there, color me not surprised there, and somehow Daniel turns this conversation into being about Kreese. Daniel? Time and a place, this isn't it. Robbie interrupts this pissing match, which he is unimpressed by, and I don't blame him. He doesn't want anything to do with either one of them. He has deep issues with his father, and feels like Daniel betrayed him, and he's the reason why he is there. Well, not exactly. Kicking someone off a balcony and almost killing them might have something to do with it, but that's neither here nor there. Miguel goes to school. He walks by his friends, and I say that in quotation marks, specifically Hawk, who is currently on Miguel's shit list because of what happened to Dimitri. He sees Sam, and they have an awkward conversation. Miguel reveals that Cobra Kai isn't his friends anymore because of what they did to them. They continue to walk together, where they eventually run into Yasmin making out with Dimitri. And if that isn't the most unlikely thing I've ever seen in my entire life, I'm not sure what is. Miguel's reaction is priceless. The two potential lovebirds play it off like they hate each other, but out of earshot of Yasmin, Dimitri claims he is 100% in love. Well, it's more like you're 100% in lust, but I won't quibble with you. It's a fun scene. Back at the dojo, Daniel is being extra hard on the kids, particularly with Dimitri, asking, hey, do you like being in a cast? Because if you keep defending like that, you're going to end up back in one right before you know it. Well, I don't know. It netted him a hot girlfriend, so it wasn't too bad for him. Amanda, seeing this, thinks the kid should take a break and gets to the crux of the matter. He's being hard on them because of Robbie. Amanda says he'll either come back or he won't. If he doesn't, Daniel has to let him go. Daniel can't do that because in his mind, Robbie has no one. Well, he'll have someone by the end of the episode, but not necessarily the guy you want. They get a surprise visit from Ron, one of the committee members of the All-Valley Karate Tournament, who says there's a problem with the tournament. Cut to Johnny with his students in the park. They are kicking a frisbee out of Johnny's hand. Apparently a frisbee he stole from someone with white dreads. Kind of curious about that person. Too bad we never get to see him. Anyway, when it's Miguel's turn, he tries to kick and doesn't manage to make contact. Johnny looks vaguely annoyed but says, good hustle! So this takes care of a bit of a problem that I had last episode of Miguel learning to walk way too fast. At least they're not turning him into a karate champion right away. Miguel insists he can do it. Johnny lets him do it, and Miguel ends up hurt on the ground. His teammates come to his aid, but Miguel angrily says that he's fine. Johnny tells him to take 5, and Johnny quietly says to Miguel that no one expects him to be his old self, which is when Mitch gets the bad news. They've canceled the All Valley. Cut back to Daniel with Ron, who's breaking the bad news. They didn't want to foster a culture of violence. So this 100% is about what happened at the school. He suggests that there is a meeting later, a city council meeting. It's pretty much final, but if there's anyone who convinced the city council to change their mind, it's him. Ron leaves, and Daniel says maybe it's for the best. At least it takes away Kreese's platform to show off his violence. But Sam insists that Daniel needs to change their minds, because if not, Miyagi-Do is the bad guys. Cut to Johnny walking with Miguel, saying perhaps it's for the best. Interesting to note that Daniel and Johnny's position is initially the same. He tells Miguel it's not like he was going to compete. That's news to Miguel, but Johnny doesn't think it's a good idea to fight in the tournament. It's about Miguel's safety. They get into an argument where Johnny ends up saying that he tried to make a simple kick and ended up on the ground. Miguel angrily tells him that Johnny told him he would always be on his side and storms away. Johnny's clearly upset, and he only has Miguel's interests at heart. Korman has opened the door to witness the end of the argument. She gives Johnny a sympathetic and empathetic look. Ravi reports to his probation office and is told to sit, when who should come out but Tori, which spurs Ravi to his feet, ready to attack. She tells him, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. Hope you enjoy more juvie." He relaxes a little, but he's clearly still pissed off. Tori suggests that they are still in the same boat. "Yeah, thanks to you starting that fight," Robbie says. "And you for finishing it," Tori quickly fires back. Tanner Buchanan's subtle look when she says this is a pretty decent piece of acting. It shows a little bit of the guilt of what he ended up doing to Miguel. If you watch my earlier videos, I've given him plenty of crap this season for his acting. Mostly because I don't think he's playing an arc that plays to his strengths. But this scene is done very well by him and Peyton List. Though I find Tori's helpful attitude towards him to be a little inexplicable. I know Miguel is now her ex, but he was your boyfriend when this dude almost killed him. Tori points out that it isn't fair that everyone else got to go on with their lives while the two of them get punished. And you know what? She has a point. Cut to Korman and Johnny. Korman says she appreciates putting safety first. Johnny, who's upset still about the argument with Miguel, says that it didn't do him much good. The kid hates him now. Korman points out that he's a teenager. If they are always happy with you, you are doing something wrong. Being a parent means making the hard choices for their own good. Johnny doesn't want to screw things up with Miguel the way he did with Ravi. Korman points out all the good he's done with Miguel. He won't forget that, and nor will she. Korman says she heard about the tournament, and Johnny says who needs it, but Korman says that he does. After what happened to Miguel, she was angry at him, and Johnny thinks she was justified in that. But she realizes now how much he cares about Miguel, and that he was just as hurt by what happened to him as she was. It won't happen again, she thinks, because Johnny is his sensei. It's what he's meant to do, and there are many more Miguels out there for him to find. Korman says he must save the tournament by doing what he does best: fight. That's 3 excellent scenes in a row. Cut to the committee meeting where Daniel is waiting his turn to speak. Sam tells him not to worry. He's got this. In walks Johnny Lawrence, who sits near Daniel. They snipe a little, per usual. Daniel's got his notes. Johnny intends to speak from the heart, and Daniel doesn't think this is going to go well. The matter is called, and the committee woman asks who's going to speak first. Both Johnny and Daniel get up. But, surprise! John Kreese beats them to the podium. Johnny and Daniel exchange angry looks. Oh, this is going to be so good. Kreese could probably charm his way to getting them what they want, but neither Johnny nor Daniel can help themselves. Amanda, Johnny, and Daniel all make themselves look like jackasses trying to defend themselves against Kreese, or countering things they know not to be true coming out of Kreese's mouth. Daniel's reaction to Johnny announcing his dojo as Eagle Fang is gold. All they managed to do, by the way, is to get Amanda kicked out because she's not supposed to be near Kreese, and to convince the council that they are right to cancel the tournament in the first place. But who should come to save the day but Miguel? He was the one in the school fight, and he was the one that got kicked off the school railing. He says that he was paralyzed and needed to relearn how to walk, and he did that in about 5 minutes. Alright, I'll get off that dead horse. Anyway, he wants the tournament to continue. The councilwoman is sympathetic, but not persuaded, until Sam stands to speak up. She says that they are the ones whose voices should matter the most. Miguel says he used to be bullied. Instead of burying their heads in the sand, pretending bullying doesn't exist, they should teach kids to defend themselves. and that is pretty much my position for the record. Karate is about discipline, strength, competence, lessons that can be used for the rest of their lives. He doesn't know where he would be today without his sensei, and we see Johnny smiling proudly. They need the tournament to show the bullies of the world that they are not afraid. It's called the All Valley because it's for everyone, to show everyone what they can do, to fight, and to become a champion. They deserve that chance. Even Kreese looks charmed by the two of them. Although, later, we'll see exactly why he has the reaction that he does. And as usual, it's not altruistic. And so too is the committee. They are also charmed. As long as they sign waivers saying that the city is not liable, the tournament is back on. Hey, you guys can hurt each other, just don't get a suit. Thanks. The kids save the day. The kids will be alright. Kreese tells the two of the other senseis, I guess we got what we wanted, but be careful what you wish for. Johnny and Daniel exchange significant looks and then embrace their kids. Great scene number 4. Cut to Sam and Miguel celebrating. Another fun romantic scene. Miguel and Sam play fight, which seems ill-advised, but this romantic moment is interrupted by Robbie. Robbie's pissed, and well, my sympathy for him quickly evaporates. The conversation between Sam and Robbie gets heated. Miguel interjects. Robbie warns him to stay out of it, but Miguel doesn't think so. And mind you, Miguel, at this moment, is not really capable of defending himself. Robbie is all like, I was hoping you would say that. And wow, Robbie, what the actual frick, man? You're gonna attack a man who only recently came back from being paralyzed because of you. He had to relearn how to walk, still clearly isn't close to 100%. And there's no apology for almost killing this dude? Nothing? I'll say this again. You almost killed this man. The only thing stopping them from fighting is Sam getting in the way of Robbie's punch. He then takes off with a parting shot. Season 5 redeems this moment a little. But damn, man, it's really hard to like Robbie for the rest of the season because of this. Carmen knocks on Johnny's door. She heard what happened at the meeting. Johnny beams with pride, saying that Miguel had his heart on his sleeve, saying what needed to be said. A true champion. But he didn't tell Miguel he could compete. He had no idea that he was going to be at the meeting. He had nothing to do with that. But Carmen begs to differ. She says that he had everything to do with that. And they kiss. And well, that leads to more. Late at night, Kreese is at the dojo. Robbie enters, and he calls for Kreese. With his back turned to him, Kreese smiles. Uh-oh. Welp, that was a fantastic episode. Lots of great scenes here. I'd almost venture to say it's one of the best episodes of the season, except I think the next one actually beats it out a little. Followed by the finale, which, after covering the final episode of Season 3, that fulfills my commitment to covering the entirety of Season 3, even if it took me years. Whether I continue or not depends on my audience. So if you'd like me to continue covering this series, please say so. I might do it anyway, but still. If you like this video and want to support the channel, there's a number of ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Korman Productions. You can join my Korman Productions Facebook page. You can buy something from the Korman Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a coffee, which is a new way to support content creators such as myself. And of course, you can like, share, and comment, as well as subscribing to my channel. This is Dave from Korman Productions, signing off.